Again, a federal court just ruled that when we call or text to make offers to buy houses, that's not considered a telephone solicitation under TCPA.
Huge. This is massive. It's going to change wholesaling as we know it. It's going to completely shake it up because a recent court ruling, they just made it so cold calling, texting homeowners, it's a whole lot less risky now. And a lot of people have been sitting on the sidelines scared to do it because they're under the impression it was illegal. A lot of people that make videos like this said it was illegal. There's so many people saying, oh, you can't call, you can't text, a lot of fear. And we finally have clarification, right? So a federal judge in Arizona, what happened was they ruled that if you do a call, even a text, and you ask if this person wants to sell, if you're coming with the intent of purchasing the property, not selling a service, it's not a solicitation. So it's not a telephone solicitation because you're a buyer, you're reaching out to buy, you're not trying to sell something, which is huge, right? And I think it's going to be massive. I mean, personally, I know a lot of big wholesale companies that got like bullied by lawyers because they thought they were in the wrong because it was a big gray area. I mean, if you sat down and read it, which I did because we do a lot of texting, we never really stop texting. If anyone asks, I would say, hey, it's a gray area. Again, I'm not a lawyer, even for this. Yeah, of course, you can look at me. I'm not a lawyer. ChatGPT isn't a lawyer either. I had them break down the case, and they're going over a lot of this stuff in this video that I'm going to be going over. But yeah, I mean, I know people that paid out a bunch of money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars to lawyers just to avoid going to court. And nobody wanted to really take it, even though when I read it, and again, what the fuck do I know? But when I read it, it sounded like, it was very specific that, the TCPA law is like if you're not selling, you have to be selling something. But now it's official, right? Because a federal judge literally just ruled that it's not, you're buying, right? So it's not solicitation. So we don't have to worry about, breaking the law or, breaking any rules. But there are some things we do have to worry about still, just because, it's not illegal, and you don't have to worry about those TCPA fines. There is still stuff you have to worry about, which we'll get into with 10 DLC, and messaging. You can still get in trouble with the carriers, which even though you're not doing anything illegal, if you don't follow their terms and services, if you don't do the things they want you to, you can still get your stuff shut down and you won't be able to send text, which fucking sucks, right? So we'll go over that. We're going to go over how to avoid that and just kind of break this down a bit more. But again, yeah, so these guys, they actually took it. They took it all the way to federal court. They fought it. And, like I said, we have the ruling that, this isn't an issue any longer. So huge win. And shout out to them for actually fighting it, actually getting clarification because we're not fucking selling shit. We're fucking buying, right? But that aside, so let's kind of go over, what you should say, at least according to ChatGPT, what you should say to, err on the side if you want to be super, super safe. Make sure you're not crossing the line. Just make sure like when you're reaching out, you're talking to people, whether it's text, whether it's a call, you're just saying like, coming with the intent of selling. And the tricky part of that, or coming with the intent of buying, not selling rather. But the tricky part of that is we can't use words or we'll get flagged by the carriers. Like we can't use sell, we can't use buy in our text messages. Calling, it doesn't fucking matter, obviously. But texting, we still want to make sure that we're not using any of those flagged words that are gonna, drive up your error codes and eventually get your account shut down, which you don't want to do. So if you guys don't have a list of error codes, if you're not sure what those are, I'm not going to get into all of them, but just drop a DM or shoot me a DM or drop a comment on this video, even just say error code, and I'll get you the whole list we have of all the error codes you want to avoid. But yeah, so just make sure you're doing it. Another like we'll switch them out. Like instead of saying buy, we'll say acquire. Or we're looking to pick up properties in the area. So messages like that, totally fine. And just again, remember, don't try not to sound like it, try not to sound like you're selling a service, right? Come in with the mentality that you're buying if, you want to make sure that you're, not violating TCPA. So that's the thing, right? So that's good. Let's get more into 10 DLC because that's the whole other side of the coin, right? Because if you can't text, I mean, you're kind of fucked, right? So to me, texting's huge. We do a lot of texting, especially if you guys are doing any inbound marketing. You're using PPL companies, you're using, Facebook, Google, whatever. You have people reaching out to you. If you can't text them, I mean, it sucks. It takes a lot longer to call, even if you're using voice AI. Um, their voice, whatever. You just have VAs, you have people making calls. Um, not having texting in your business is you're gonna be screwed. So make sure you don't get your stuff shut down. One of the things I always recommend doing is when we set up our clients an investor plug, what we do is we actually set them up on their own Twilio account. So a lot of other CRMs, a lot of companies, or people use like Go High Level or whatever, they use that native one, which is a lot stricter. One, and two, you just don't have as much control. So you can actually go into Twilio and you can actually set it up, which we do for our clients, is that you can get a notification if your error messages are too high. So you can they slow down, see what the issue is. Maybe it's landlines, maybe it's whatever. Maybe you're using flag keywords like we talked about, or people are opting out. Your stuff's going to get shut down fast, right? So make sure you're not doing that. Make sure your stuff's good and you're monitoring it because yeah, it sucks. They ask you for a million things. You have to come through right away or you just get shut down. And they can even report you and blacklist you. So if you don't use Twilio, you can't use other ones like SendGrid or whatever else you want to use. So make sure you keep your shit in good standing. And just make sure you register, right? If you guys need help getting your 10 DLC approved, reach out. I mean, that's what we do over at Investor Club. We do that all for you. Um, Honestly, 9 times out of 10, what we see is a lot of people they're having trouble. We've had people 6 months plus not being able to get approved. It's usually something on the website. It's usually not the correct verbiage, or you're missing a checkbox or something stupid. And the kicker is they don't tell you what that issue is, right? So yeah, make sure everything's good and you go over it and you don't miss anything because it's a guessing game. You have to figure out why it's not working. So that's it, man. I'm excited. Cold calling, texting, it's back on the menu. Again, for us, it never really left. A lot of people, really just stopped doing it, right? They just really cut that out of their business. But like, as long as you're trying to keep your error rates low, there's a bunch of other things you can do. That we help our clients invest plug, or I'll make more videos on and kind of go into how to avoid getting in trouble with the carriers. But you don't have to worry about those fines, right? I mean, you don't have to worry about getting hit with violating that, or I mean, honestly, according to this, even you don't have to worry about the do not call list or any of that shit because we're not selling anything, we're buying, right? So huge. I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Let me know. We're gonna start making a lot more videos. If you guys have anything specific you want us to cover, let me know. And if you guys haven't heard, we just announced it. The biggest wholesaling event, Wholesaling Syndicate Live, is back. It's going to be September 19th and 20th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Center here in San Antonio, Texas. We have our best lineup yet, our best venue. Super excited. So yeah, go to live.wholesalingsyndicate.com. Grab your tickets now. Depending on when you guys are listening or watching this, early bird pricing still going for about another 30 days. It's just half off, right? So be an action taker, grab your tickets. Fucking cheapest one's like $49. You owe it to yourself. So go there, grab some tickets. Love to meet you, shake your hand, and we'll see you guys on the next one.